Hello friends, welcome back to Cosmopolitan Cornbread. So I just came home with my April Azure Standard haul and I thought I would go ahead and share it with you guys. Bit of produce this time around and a bunch of cleaning supplies. It was time to stock up on all of those. Alright, so we'll start over here on this end. So this month I decided to stock up on my cleaning supplies, and I went ahead and I got a great big jug of the laundry detergent. I find I really like this detergent. I gave it a try a few months ago and it lasted me months. This load here, or this jug here, does 128 loads of laundry, so it lasted a good while. And I like the citrus fragrance because it's not chemically. And then I got a bottle of the pure Castile Soap, again also in citrus. You know, in the springtime I love citrus scents because they're very fresh, very clean smelling, and so I am drawn towards citrus in the springtime, even when it comes to baking. Now right now I'm not doing a lot of baking, but when I am doing a lot of baking in the spring, I'm always drawn to lemon and orange and lime and so more citrus. And Castile soap can be used for all sorts of things. Of course, you can use it as a laundry detergent. About 1/4 of a cup to 1/3 of a cup per load on average, depending on how big the load and how dirty your clothes are. But I use it for making my homemade all-purpose cleaners and all sorts of things. So some Castile soap, my dish soap, again, citrus fragrance. This does a really good job of cleaning. Now it doesn't bubble up quite as much as your traditional, like say, Blue Dawn dish soap, but this does a good job of cleaning your dishes. And I went ahead and stocked up. I got a 3-pack of them. And then that is it for the cleaning supplies. Then I stocked up on a whole bunch of dried oregano, and I got 3 1-pound bags. And I know that that is a lot of oregano, but I decided I'm going to start giving this to my chickens in their feed, as well as my goats, because oregano is really good for the gut. Has all sorts of health benefits, and so I decided to start adding this to all of the things that the animals get. So in this box right here, I have a whole bunch, well, I have 12 jars of organic pizza sauce. I use pizza sauce for all sorts of things, not just pizzas. I especially use it if I'm doing a lot of low carb or keto types of recipes. And this pizza sauce in particular not only is organic, but it doesn't have any sugar in it. All of the ingredients consist of tomato, sea salt, dried onion, olive oil, garlic, basil, oregano, black pepper, and thyme. That's it. So sugar-free pizza sauce. When you are trying to avoid sugar for any length of time, it's amazing to see how much sugar is in things. Things that are savory will have sugar in them. It's everywhere. So some sugar-free pizza sauce. And then over here I have some produce that I got this month. Well, and some dairy. I ordered 3 more cartons of Parmesan cheese, oregano Parmesan. We use Parmesan quite a bit with different things. I like to sprinkle it on soups, of course, Italian type dishes, whether it's pasta or what have you. So we use a lot of Parmesan. So I order this almost every month now. And then cabbage. I have been craving a lot of cabbage lately, and so of course I stocked up from Azure Standard. Now this is their, like, the 3-pound pack. The cabbage heads were small, so I got 2 of them. Well, I ordered 3, and so I ended up with 6 heads of cabbage. So we've got 3.5 pounds, 3.25 pounds, and we've got another 3.5 pounds. So that was lots of cabbage. So I already told Mr. Smith there's gonna be lots of cabbage getting eaten here in the next few weeks. Fried cabbage, I love fried cabbage. He loves cabbage roll soup. I mean, I love it too, but he declared the last time I made it, it was now his favorite soup. Of course, that recipe's on my website and here on the channel. So we've got lots of cabbage. I bought a whole bunch of organic garlic, y'all. And you're probably thinking, why in the world did you get so much garlic? I decided I'm going to do the thing that I have been talking about doing forever, and I always think I need to do it every time I see it, but I've never actually done it. And that is, I'm going to make some of the fermented garlic and honey. I've never done it. I know it's really, really good for you. And so that is why I got so much garlic. And of course for cooking as well. I love garlic in my food. And then going along the line with the brassicas, like all of this cabbage, I went ahead and I ordered some Brussels sprouts. I love Brussels sprouts, and it's not, y'all, it's not easy to find organic produce where I live. We don't have very many grocery stores. Fort Smith has a little bit. You can find a little bit more organic, but you can't find everything organic. And so Azure Standard is really an excellent resource for me. We do have a small health food store in Fort Smith that's enlarging. So I'm excited to see what all they'll be able to carry now. And I have a kitty cat down here playing with the cardboard boxes that all of this stuff came home in. He's such a stinker, which, by the way, y'all haven't seen him in a while, I don't think. Let me pick him up and show him to y'all if you'll let me. He's not big on being held. So this is Otis. He's the once kitten that showed up here last year, so starved that he was eating chicken scratch out of the driveway. But he is a stinker. He loves to cuddle. He's not big on being held, though. And he is rambunctious. He torments Miss Ava. But she kind of gives him a what for every so often, doesn't she, Otis? And he's a little on the tubby side. I think from being starved as long as he was, however long he was. So his nickname is Otis Tubby Cat. All right, so then I've got 2 things left here to show you. I did also get some of the Thousand Hills hamburger patties. They're frozen. They're already out in the freezer. It's pretty toasty out here today. It's 80-some degrees. Throw in and just about an hour drive. So as soon as I got home, they went straight into the freezer. But I bought 2 packs of those. And I also got a pack of the steak strips that I've never ordered those before, so giving them a try. I'll make something with those in the coming weeks. All right, so the last 2 things I have to show you here are some more onions. Again, a whole bunch of onions here, but I have a recipe that I haven't made in several years, and I really want to make it again. And so for that, I needed a whole bunch of onions. And I also needed some maple syrup. Now, of course, I don't need this much maple syrup for the recipe I'm going to make, but it's never a bad idea to have some maple syrup in your pantry. So, in case you were wondering what recipe it is that I'm planning on doing, it's a canning recipe for maple onion jam. And the original recipe that I published on my website also uses some brown sugar, but I'm going to omit the brown sugar this time around and just use maple syrup instead. And so we'll see how that turns out. I'm sure it's going to be delicious because thinking of just the sweetness and the richness of caramelized onions and then throwing in a little bit of that maple flavor, it's so delicious, y'all. And you just cook it down, and you cook it down until it is rich and thick, and you throw a spoonful of that on a burger. It's heavenly. So I will put a link to that recipe in the video description, as well as the cabbage roll soup that I mentioned earlier. So you can find those down there below. Or I will put cards here at the very end for both of those videos here on YouTube. So that is it for today, friends. Thank you for joining me here again at the homestead. My name is Constance from Cosmopolitan Cornbread. God bless, and I'll talk to y'all next time.